It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from the Notebook, this series of craft beers. It's been brewed at Welbeck Abbey Brewery. There you go. And it's their Golden Ring Dragonfly Ale, coming in at 3.8% ABV. As I mentioned in previous reviews, yellow bottle cap of these beers is that I love wildlife. I love all things natural, and this just appeals to me. Loads of smoke on the opening. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I like a golden ale. Judging by the previous beers that I've had from this brewery, it's going to be very light, very refreshing, very golden almost tasting, and at 3.8% ABV, very sessionable. Beer in the glass, very clear, nice levels of carbonation rising from the bottom of the glass. Looks very, very appealing in the glass. Look at that beer. It's a one finger white head with a golden, as I mentioned, coloured ale, clear beer. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, there's some nice citrus notes in here, also with some nice kind of bready, biscuity malts. I'm also picking up a touch of honey. And if I'm completely honest, an ever so slight kind of boiled cabbage aroma. Now that doesn't bode well, but as a beer reviewer, I have to say these things because you go out and buy these beers and you'll be wondering what I'm talking about if I don't mention these slight off flavours in the beer. So a little bit of boiled cabbage in this one. Let's hope that we don't pick up any of that in the taste. Cheers. And to be honest, I don't pick up any of that boiled cabbage. It's not in the taste. But then I'm not really picking up too much in the way of hops. I was expecting a little bit more from this beer. I'm slightly disappointed. The rest of the beers from this range have been absolutely fantastic. They've really been barnstorming beers. They've been beers that you could session all day long. The stouts, the IPAs, pale ale. But this, it's, and I mean this with the greatest of respects to the brewery, to the brewers, is that it's just a golden ale. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it being just a golden ale. 3.8% ABV. It's still better than the mass-produced kind of bitters out there. It's still got a little bit more flavour than that. So even if I was to give this quite a low mark regarding other kind of golden ales out there, I would still choose to buy it over, let's just say, a John Smith's. It's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit biscuity, it's a little bit of lemon on the back end, but that's about it. It is a fairly bland beer. I might be being a little bit unfair. I don't think I am. I just think that even at 3.8% ABV, I think they would be selling this beer at, it's probably at least £2.50 to £3 a bottle. And I think for that price, it needs to have a little bit more about it. It needs to have a little bit more of a hoppy punch, or a biscuity, bready, malty middle. It needs that little bit of something, you know. It's a beer that you would drink in the pub. You wouldn't necessarily complain about it, you wouldn't take it back, but you wouldn't write it in your journal. You wouldn't, it's not a beer to write home about. It's not a beer that, it's a beer that you would quite quickly forget. So it's unfortunate, really. I think we're at the last of the series now. We may have the Elder beer to review soon, which is the very last one. But it's a shame that the series is coming to an end, and it's coming to an end on a bit of a whimper, because the other beers are absolutely great. The Arctic Tern IPA was a lovely IPA. It really was. It had a lot of floral, hoppy, grapefruity, American style hops in the beer. It was a good tasting beer. It was bready and biscuity, and I would drink that all day long. And it was 6%. This, on the other hand, I won't mention it again. It's just a little bit bland and boring. But hey, let's give it a rating. Golden Ringed Dragonfly Golden Ale at 3.8% ABV, brewed at Welbeck Abbey Brewery. I'm going to give it 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm kind of sorry to do this, really. I've liked their beers, but it was a little bit kind of cabbagey on the nose, a little bit of kind of boiled cabbage. That wasn't a great start, and then when you don't have a great start like that, and you have a bit of a bland beer, then it all kind of escalates very quickly. It all kind of falls apart very quickly. So 4 out of 10. Thank you to the guys for sending from the Notebook Brewery. We got one more beer to go. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.